On a distant planet called Zorath, a group of alien leaders gathered in a grand chamber. The room was filled with bright lights and strange decorations, but the atmosphere was heavy with laughter. They were talking about Earth and its inhabitants, humans. The aliens believed they were far superior and could not understand how such a primitive species existed in the universe. One of the leaders, a tall alien with green skin named Commander Zalor, leaned forward, his eyes sparkling with amusement. "Have you heard how humans celebrate their birthdays? They throw big parties and eat cake. How silly." The other leaders laughed loudly, slapping their knees in delight. They thought humans were ridiculous, incapable of serious thought or action. Another alien, a small creature with bright blue skin named Lyra, joined in. "And what about their love for pets? They keep dogs and cats like they are family members. How strange." The laughter echoed through the chamber, drowning out any voices of dissent. The leaders believed that humans were just a bunch of weaklings who were no threat to them. Meanwhile, on Earth, scientists were watching the aliens from a control room filled with computers and monitors. They had been observing the Zorathians for months. Dr. Elena Torres, the team leader, sat in front of a screen, her brow furrowed with concern. "They think we're a joke," she said, frustration in her voice. "If we don't do something soon, they will never take us seriously." Her colleague, a young scientist named Marco, nodded. "We need to show them that we are more than they think. But how do we reach out to them?" He glanced at the screen where the Zorathian leaders were still laughing, completely unaware of the humans watching them. Dr. Torres took a deep breath. "We need to send them a message. We have to let them know we want to communicate." She could feel a spark of hope igniting within her. But it has to be bold. We must show them that we are strong and capable. The team quickly gathered around a table covered in blueprints and sketches. They brainstormed ideas on how to send a powerful signal to the aliens. After hours of discussion, they finally settled on a plan. They would create a message that showcased humanity's achievements, intelligence, and culture. The goal was to impress the Zorathians and prove that humans were not to be underestimated. As the team worked day and night, they designed a beautiful holographic display. It would include images of Earth's stunning landscapes, art, music, and inventions. They planned to send this message into space, broadcasting it directly to the Zorathians. It would be their chance to shine. Back on Zorath, the leaders continued their mockery. Zalor turned to the other aliens. "I hear they have a strange habit of collecting shiny objects. They call it treasure hunting. How pathetic." The laughter erupted again, but some aliens began to exchange glances, sensing a different energy in the room. "What if they are more than we think?" asked a quiet alien named Zorax. He was often overlooked, but he had a keen eye for detail. "What if their simple ways hide something deeper?" The others ignored him, too caught up in their jokes to consider his words. They believed they had nothing to fear. As days passed, Dr. Torres and her team finished their message. It was time to send it into the cosmos. They gathered in front of a massive transmitter, their hearts racing with anticipation. "This is our chance," Dr. Torres said, determination shining in her eyes. "Let's show them who we really are." With a press of a button, the signal shot into space, bright and powerful. It carried the hopes of humanity, a plea for understanding. Little did they know, this would mark the beginning of a significant change for Earth and its people. Back on Zorath, as the aliens continued to laugh and joke, a strange signal appeared on their screens. The laughter faded as curiosity took hold. They were about to discover that the humans they mocked were not as simple as they thought. The tides were turning, and soon, everything would change. In the heart of a bustling research facility on Earth, Dr. Elena Torres paced back and forth in front of her team. The excitement and tension in the air were thick as they awaited a response from the Zorathian aliens. Days had passed since they sent their powerful message into space, and the anticipation was almost unbearable. Elena's mind raced with thoughts of what could happen next. "Do you think they even received our message?" Marco, her young colleague, asked, biting his lip in worry. The rest of the team looked equally anxious, their eyes fixed on Elena for answers. "I believe they did," Elena replied, trying to sound confident. "But whether they take us seriously is another matter." She stopped pacing and turned to face her team. "We need to prepare for any response. If they decide to contact us, we must show them we are ready for anything." Just then, a technician named Jake burst into the room, excitement written all over his face. "Dr. Torres, we've picked up a signal. It's coming from Zorath." The room erupted in gasps. The team quickly gathered around the screens as Jake pulled up the incoming message. It displayed strange symbols and images, unlike anything they had seen before. Marco squinted at the screen, trying to make sense of it. "What does it mean?" he asked, frustration creeping into his voice. Elena took a deep breath. "It means they are trying to communicate with us. This is our chance! But we need to be careful. We have to craft a reply that shows we are intelligent and peaceful." The team spent hours working on the response. They wanted to include their best achievements and showcase the beauty of Earth. The message would need to be clear and concise, filled with images of art, science, and technology. It had to impress the Zorathians and make them understand that humans were not to be underestimated. As the hours passed, Elena's excitement turned into anxiety. What if they laugh at us again? What if they decide we're not worth their time? She confessed, her voice wavering. Marco placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "We have to believe in ourselves. We've worked hard, and we have so much to offer. This is our moment!" The team nodded in agreement, finding strength in each other. They finally finished the message, pouring their hearts and creativity into it. Elena smiled as she watched the holographic display take shape. It showed a montage of Earth's wonders, soaring mountains, vast oceans, bustling cities, and joyful celebrations. It included clips of humans achieving great things, like landing on the moon and curing diseases. "Are we really going to do this?" Jake asked, glancing at the team. "We're reaching out to aliens who think we're a joke." "Yes," Elena said, determination in her eyes. "We are going to show them that we are more than they think. We are brave, intelligent, and capable of great things." Finally, it was time to send their reply. They gathered around the transmitter, their hearts pounding with anticipation. Elena raised her hand over the button, her heart racing. "This is it. This is our bold decision. We are taking a step into the unknown." With a deep breath, she pressed the button. The signal shot out into the cosmos, carrying their message of hope and courage. As the signal traveled through the stars, the team felt a wave of relief wash over them. They had done everything they could. Now all they could do was wait for a response. Meanwhile, back on Zorath, the alien leaders were analyzing the strange message from Earth. Commander Zalor frowned, intrigued by the human images. "They are trying to impress us," he said, his voice low. Lyra, the small blue alien, squinted at the screen. "What if they really are more than we thought?" But Zalor shook his head, still skeptical. "They are still humans. We must not forget that." The leaders continued their debate, unaware that a significant change was about to unfold in the universe. On Earth, Elena and her team waited with bated breath, hoping their bold decision would change the course of history. The days passed slowly on Earth as Dr. Elena Torres and her team waited anxiously for a response from the Zorathians. Each day brought new worries, and the excitement of sending their message began to fade into doubt. Would the aliens even care about what they had sent? Would they laugh at the humans again? In a small control room, Elena stared at the screens, her heart pounding. The team was on high alert, ready to receive any signal from the distant planet. Marco paced beside her, his eyes darting to the monitor every few seconds. "What if they don't reply?" he asked, his voice filled with unease. "What if they ignore us completely?" "Then we'll try again," Elena replied, her tone firm. "But I believe they will respond." We showed them who we are. She wanted to be strong for her team, but even she felt a gnawing worry in her gut. On Zorath, the alien leaders were gathered in their grand chamber, studying the response from Earth. Commander Zalor stood at the front, looking serious. "This human message is unlike anything we expected," he said, pointing at the bright images flashing on their screens. "They are showing their achievements and culture. But are they really capable of such greatness?" Lyra, the small blue alien, shook her head in disbelief. "They have shown us their beauty, but can they fight? Can they defend themselves? They look so fragile." Zalor frowned, his mind racing. "We need to understand them better before we make any decisions. We cannot underestimate them." He turned to the council. "I suggest we send a team to Earth to investigate further. We must see for ourselves what they are capable of." The council members exchanged glances, some looking skeptical. "Are we really going to waste our time with these creatures?" one of them grumbled. But Zalor persisted. "If we ignore this, we may miss an opportunity. They could become allies or pose a threat. We cannot afford to laugh at them anymore. We need to learn." Finally, the council agreed, and they began preparations to send a small envoy to Earth. Zalor felt a surge of hope. Perhaps this was the moment to change their perception of humans. Back on Earth, the tension in the control room was palpable. Suddenly, a loud beep filled the air and the monitors flickered to life. Elena's heart raced as she leaned closer to the screen. The Zorathian emblem appeared, along with strange symbols and images. "It's them! They're responding!" Marco shouted, excitement flooding the room. The team gathered around the monitor, breathless with anticipation. Elena quickly tapped the screen, translating the symbols into English. As the message appeared, the room fell silent. "We acknowledge your signal. We wish to learn more about you. Prepare for our arrival." A wave of disbelief washed over the team. They had not only received a response, but the Zorathians were coming to Earth. "This is incredible!" Jake exclaimed, unable to contain his joy. "They want to meet us!" Elena's heart soared. "We need to prepare for their arrival. This is our chance to show them who we truly are." She felt a rush of adrenaline, realizing the weight of this moment. The team quickly got to work planning for the meeting. They wanted to make a great first impression. Elena thought of all the ways they could showcase Earth's best. She envisioned the aliens walking through a garden filled with colorful flowers and vibrant landscapes. As they prepared, she felt a mix of excitement and fear. What if the aliens judged them? What if they didn't like what they saw? But she pushed those thoughts aside. This was their opportunity to change how the universe viewed humanity. Meanwhile, the Zorathian envoy was gearing up for the journey. Commander Zaylor felt a thrill of anticipation. "We will see if they are truly as weak as we thought," he declared to his team. "Let us uncover the truth about these humans." The aliens launched their ship, a sleek vessel that shimmered in the stars. As it hurtled through space, Zaylor reflected on the previous laughter. "It is time to learn," he whispered, his heart racing with curiosity. Back on Earth, the team continued their preparations, unaware of the profound impact this meeting would have on their future. They were about to face the Zorathians who once mocked them, but now a new chapter was beginning, filled with hope and the promise of understanding. The day had finally arrived. Dr. Elena Torres and her team stood in the large conference hall, nerves and excitement swirling in the air. The room was decorated with Earth's best achievements, pictures of beautiful landscapes, famous artworks, and videos showcasing humanity's greatest moments. They wanted the Zorathians to see how remarkable humans could be. Elena checked her watch, her heart racing. "They should be here any minute now," she said, glancing at Marco, who was pacing back and forth. "Do you think they will like us?" Marco asked, his voice shaky with anxiety. "What if they laugh at us again? We've worked hard to prepare. We just have to show them who we are," Elena replied, trying to sound confident. The team had rehearsed their presentation countless times, but this was different. This was real. Suddenly, the doors to the conference hall opened and a group of Zorathians entered. The humans gasped, captivated by the sight. The aliens were tall and slender, with skin that shimmered in shades of green and blue. Their large, bright eyes scanned the room, taking in everything. Commander Zalor stepped forward, his presence commanding and serious. "We have come to learn about your species," he said, his voice deep and resonant. "We wish to understand you better." Elena took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "Welcome to Earth," she said, her voice steady. "We are excited to show you who we are." The Zorathians nodded, their expressions unreadable. Elena motioned for the presentation to begin. The lights dimmed and the first images appeared on the screen. "Here you can see the beauty of our planet," Elena said, pointing to the images of mountains, oceans, and forests. "This is where we live and we take great care of it." The Zorathians watched intently, their eyes wide with curiosity. As the presentation continued, the team showcased human achievements in science, art, and culture. They played a video of humans landing on the moon, a moment filled with bravery and determination. The Zorathians were clearly impressed, their laughter fading away as they took in the magnitude of what they were witnessing. "Humans are not so weak," Zaylor finally said, his tone shifting from skepticism to intrigue. "You have done great things." Elena smiled, feeling a wave of relief wash over her. "Yes, and we want to do more. We are capable of so much, especially when we work together." After the presentation, the Zorathians seemed eager to ask questions. Lyra, the small blue alien, stepped forward. "Why do you humans care so much about each other? What drives you?" Elena thought carefully before answering. "We believe in connection and community. We help each other, because we know that together we can achieve more. It's in our nature to care for one another." The aliens exchanged glances, surprised by her answer. They were not used to such emotions. Zaylor continued, "And what about conflict? Do you not fight among yourselves?" "Yes, we do," Elena admitted, her expression serious. "But we learn from our mistakes. We strive for peace and understanding. That is why we reached out to you. We hope to build a friendship." The conversation flowed easily, with humans and Zorathians sharing stories about their cultures. The Zorathians revealed their own challenges and achievements, and the humans listened with great interest. They discovered that despite their differences, both species shared a desire for knowledge and growth. As the meeting continued, the atmosphere shifted from formal to friendly. Laughter filled the room as they exchanged jokes and light-hearted stories. The humans began to see the Zorathians as friends rather than distant beings from another world. At the end of the day, Zaylor stood up, his expression sincere. "You have shown us a side of humanity we did not expect. We would like to continue our discussions and explore the possibility of an alliance." Elena's heart soared at his words. "We would love that. Together we can learn so much from each other." As the Zorathians prepared to leave, Elena felt a sense of hope blossoming within her. This meeting had changed everything. They had gone from being ridiculed to building a connection with another species. The door closed behind the Zorathians, and Elena turned to her team, her eyes sparkling with joy. "We did it! We showed them who we are!" Cheers erupted in the conference hall as the team celebrated their success. They had taken the first step toward a brighter future, one filled with possibilities and the promise of friendship between Earth and Zorath. In the days that followed the historic meeting, the atmosphere on Earth was electric. Dr. Elena Torres and her team felt like they were living in a dream. News of the Zorathian visit spread quickly, capturing the attention of the world. People were excited, hopeful, and curious about the future of humanity's relationship with the aliens. Elena and her team worked tirelessly, coordinating with Zorathian officials to plan the next steps in their alliance. Meetings were held daily, and the team focused on building a foundation of trust and understanding. They knew this was an opportunity unlike any other, and they were determined to make it work. One afternoon, the team gathered in the conference hall for another meeting with Commander Zaylor and his delegation. The atmosphere was buzzing with anticipation. The Zorathians had agreed to share their technology and knowledge with humanity, and Elena couldn't wait to see what they had to offer. As the Zorathians entered the room, their expressions were friendly, and they seemed genuinely excited about the collaboration. Zaylor stepped forward, his green skin shimmering under the bright lights. "We are pleased to be here once again," he said, his voice warm. "Today, we would like to discuss how we can help each other grow." Elena smiled, feeling a sense of pride. "Thank you, Commander. We believe this is just the beginning of a wonderful partnership." She gestured to a screen displaying plans for a joint research center where humans and Zorathians could work together on technology, medicine, and environmental projects. Zaylor nodded, looking impressed. "Your ideas are innovative. Together we can achieve great things." He turned to his team and shared details about Zorathian technology, including advanced energy sources and medical advancements that could benefit Earth. As Zaylor spoke, Elena's mind raced with possibilities. They could solve so many of humanity's problems if they worked together. The Zorathians had solutions to energy shortages, pollution, and even disease. This alliance could change everything. The meeting continued, filled with discussions about mutual goals and visions for the future. As they talked, Elena noticed a growing camaraderie between the two groups. They laughed and shared stories, and the barriers that once separated them began to fade away. Later in the meeting, Lyra, the small blue Zorathian, stood up to speak. "We have much to learn from you humans," she said, her voice soft yet confident. "Your creativity and passion are inspiring. We wish to understand more about your culture, your art, and your music. Can you show us?" Elena's heart swelled with joy. "Of course! We would love to share our culture with you. We can organize cultural exchanges where you can experience our art, music, and traditions firsthand." The Zorathians nodded eagerly, excited about the idea. They had already learned so much from the humans, but experiencing Earth's culture would deepen their understanding even further. As the meeting concluded, the team felt a sense of accomplishment. They were on the brink of a new era, one filled with hope and cooperation. Elena couldn't help but think about how far they had come since the initial ridicule. The Zorathians had gone from mockery to friendship, and they were now allies. In the following weeks, cultural exchanges began. Humans visited Zorathian ships to learn about their technology and way of life, while Zorathians explored Earth's wonders. They marveled at the beauty of nature, the creativity of human art, and the depth of human emotions. The bond between the two species grew stronger every day. Elena and her team organized music festivals, art exhibitions, and science fairs where both humans and Zorathians could share their talents and learn from each other. As Elena stood in the middle of a festival one sunny afternoon, she watched as humans and Zorathians danced and celebrated together. Laughter echoed through the air, and she felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. They had turned a moment of ridicule into a thriving partnership. "Look at them," Marco said, smiling as he joined her. "I never thought I'd see this day." "It's amazing how far we've come." Elena nodded, her heart swelling with pride. "We did it together. This is just the beginning of something extraordinary." And in that moment, surrounded by friends from another world, Elena knew that humanity had taken a giant leap forward. They had built a new alliance, one that would shape the future of both Earth and Zorath for generations to come. Together they would explore the stars, share knowledge, and create a better universe for all.